Have you ever wondered what a typical small town in China looks like at 5 o'clock in the morning? In this video, I'm taking you into a world most outsiders never see, the quiet, real side of everyday China. Hey everyone, I'm Wu. Welcome back to my channel. So hit that subscribe button and come explore with me.
Look at this, the morning glow over the small town. How beautiful it is. This is a scene I've never seen before. Looks like today is going to be a really nice day. Now it's only a few minutes until 5 o'clock. I've just arrived at the town. This is the busiest intersection in the town, because walking straight ahead leads to the vegetable market. Actually, the earliest people to start work in the whole town are the owners of the breakfast shops. At this time, they are already selling breakfast, so they probably started preparing around 3 o'clock in the morning. This old woman's tricycle is loaded with vegetables that will soon be sold in the vegetable market. In almost all Chinese small towns, you will see these elderly people in the markets. They come from nearby villages to the town in the early morning hours. The vegetable market in the town is always the first to become busy. Many merchants already have trucks parked in front of their stalls, unloading goods from larger wholesale markets. These usually include the food for the entire town for the day. This is a shop making noodle products. The owner is displaying some dumpling wrappers and noodles at the entrance. There are also several stalls selling live poultry. Locals like to eat chicken or duck. These chickens and ducks are generally raised in farms with feed, have short growth cycles, and are cheaper than free-range poultry. Pigeons are usually used for making soup, and locals believe pigeon soup is very nutritious. Pork is also a very commonly eaten meat in China, so you will see pork sellers at almost every few stalls. Inside the vegetable market, many old farmers have already set up their own vegetables for sale. Compared to the very beautiful looking vegetables in street shops, people nowadays actually prefer to buy the not-so-good-looking vegetables from these elderly farmers. Because in the minds of most Chinese people, those beautiful vegetables are always sprayed with too many pesticides and chemical agents that promote growth, and are not healthy. The vegetables these farmers pick from their own fields may not look great, but the farmers don't spray excessive chemicals. They are naturally grown vegetables and very healthy. In Chinese township vegetable markets, for many elderly people like this, their only source of income is selling the vegetables they grow themselves. They only receive about 200 renminbi in pension subsidies from the government each month, which is less than $30. That's why they still have to work so hard growing and selling vegetables, even at such an old age. Coming out of the vegetable market, let's first take a look at what the streets are like. Can you hear all the noisy birds chirping around us? The birds get up way earlier than people. At 5 o'clock in the morning, the shops along the road all have their doors tightly closed. Look, on this street, the only place that's open for business at this time is the supermarket. This is the only crossroads in the town with traffic lights. It's completely empty. I should be the earliest young person in this town, waiting on the street for the red light to turn green. Of course, excluding those old people setting up stalls in the vegetable market. It seems there are others who got up as early as me, these street cleaners. They are responsible for making the streets clean for people to see after daybreak. This is the hospital in our town. It's not yet time for the doctors to start work, so it's still very quiet here. In China, township hospitals are usually not very large. One of this size is already considered decent. Township hospitals can only handle simple things like colds, fevers, or basic wound treatment and bandaging. They can also give some vaccines, but the variety is quite limited and some require appointments. However, emergency vaccines like rabies shots are always kept in stock. I once saw someone who was bitten by a dog come here for a rabies vaccine. This is the town hospital's only ambulance. You might think it seems insufficient, after all this is a town with more than 10,000 people. But in reality, not that many people live here permanently, because most young people have gone to economically developed areas, to work and earn money. Only about 1/3 of the population is left. And when most people encounter emergencies, the ambulance usually comes directly from nearby county or city hospitals. Everyone still prefers to go to higher-level hospitals for better treatment. Let me show you one of the most scenic places in our town, right here. There are already quite a few early risers walking on the bridge, breathing the fresh air. There are also old farmers riding tricycles loaded with vegetables they grew themselves, heading to the vegetable market to sell them. It's 6 o'clock in the morning now. The sky has brightened, and there are gradually more people on the streets. Let me show you what the busiest vegetable market looks like now. Many people are already carrying the ingredients they bought and leaving the market. If you observe carefully, you'll notice that most of the people coming to buy vegetables are middle-aged and elderly, because they are usually the ones responsible for cooking at home. There are still scattered people in the market, but the stalls are already filled with agricultural products. People who come early can often buy the freshest vegetables. If you come late, you can only buy what others have left behind. This is a type of noodle made from rice, called fun in Chinese. It's a specialty food for locals here. It can be used as a staple food, stir-fried or boiled. I need to buy some to take back.
Wow.
I already grow vegetables at home, so I need to buy some ingredients I don't have, such as pork. Right now, pure lean pork is 16 renminbi per gene, about $4.5 US per kilogram. These pork pieces cost me $3. This guy is promoting his cleaver, but he's only holding a piece of paper in his hand, and showing everyone that his knife can cut paper. This doesn't convince me at all. I think he should go to the meat stall next door, buy a piece of meat, and demonstrate it to everyone. Okay, after shopping for so long, my stomach is hungry too. Time to go eat breakfast. This is a very common breakfast restaurant in our area. They mainly sell rice noodles boiled in water, with rich and flavorful toppings. This is delicious to me. When I used to work in distant cities, I always missed the taste of my hometown. Add a youtiao, fried dough stick, soak it in the soup, take a bite, it's so good. My breakfast is finished. Now I'm packing breakfast for my family. This is soy milk. The shop puts it in big buckets in advance, and customers can pack it themselves using paper cups. 1 cup of soy milk costs only 1 renminbi, about $0.15 US. The main staple for breakfast is steamed buns. These are like bread that can be filled with various stuffings, vegetables, tofu, or different kinds of meat. This is also one of the most common breakfast foods in China. In China today, almost every shop accepts electronic payment. That's why I didn't bring any cash when I left home. My phone is all I need. Of course, in small towns like this, most elderly people still prefer to pay with cash. I locked my bicycle in a hidden spot. You guys saw what my password is, so if you can find where my bike is, feel free to unlock it and use it. But this is only for the viewers who watched this video. Just kidding. A little after 6 o'clock in the morning, I arrived at the bus station in the town. But it looks empty here, as if I'm the only passenger waiting. This place looks no different from more than 10 years ago. Back then, I was still a teenager studying at the local school. Every summer vacation, many students like me would come here to take long-distance buses to the coastal cities where our parents worked to spend the summer holiday. There are only 2 long-distance buses here. Their destinations are the coastal cities that locals go to most often. If you want to go somewhere else, you have to first take a bus to the county seat. The county bus station has many more destination choices. Just when I thought there were no buses coming to the station, and I was about to leave, I happened to run into the early morning bus. Looks like my plans for the rest of the trip have changed. Alright, I should get on the bus now. Guess where I'm taking you? Looks like I arrived quite early. There are only 2 or 3 passengers on the bus. Buses like this run about every half hour in the countryside. You can just wave your hand on the roadside to flag one down, or wait at the bus station. Well, never mind. I'll just ride my bicycle back into the town and continue looking around. This used to be the most prosperous pedestrian street in town, but now it has completely declined. Although it's already time for business, the shop doors on both sides of the street are still tightly closed, and the street is piled with clutter. In recent years, as China's economy has declined, people are unwilling to spend money buying clothes in physical shops on the street, because compared to online shopping, clothes in brick-and-mortar stores are more expensive. The cost includes shop rent. Only during the Spring Festival, do many young people who have earned money come back to their hometowns to spend. But in recent years, even then, not many people are consuming. This is the town government office. It should not be office hours yet. The courtyard is still empty. In China, every township and even every village has government offices. This is a very large government system. Because it is very difficult for university graduates to find jobs nowadays, many people try hard after graduation to squeeze into these township government offices. This is called a job that will never be unemployed, at least that used to be true in China. But now it seems the situation has also changed. There have been news reports in many places about government offices unable to pay salaries. So, I want to know, in your country, would such a situation happen? How do government offices operate in your country? Based on my experience living in China, township-level offices cannot solve many problems. People usually have to complain to county or city-level government offices. At around 7:30 in the morning, the situation at the hospital is very different. The entrance is already full of electric scooters. They belong to residents from nearby areas in the town. In order to be at the front of the line, they wait outside early as soon as the doctors start work. Look, the consultation rooms are crowded with patients. This is the hospital's inpatient building. Let me take you inside to have a closer look. I haven't been here for many years. It looks quite different from before. This is the infusion hall, where patients receive 4 drips. In most hospitals in China, many doctors like to give patients antibiotics. Most patients also like using antibiotics because they take effect very quickly. Almost whenever they feel a bit unwell with a cold or fever, they come here for antibiotics. When I was a child, I often used antibiotics when I got sick. I had no choice back then, but after I gradually understood the harms, and gained the ability to decide for myself, I almost never use antibiotics anymore. But the current reality is that farmers in rural areas still prefer this kind of treatment, because it makes their bodies recover very quickly. Here are the inpatient wards for patients. It looks like this place was recently renovated. The beds are also different from the rundown ones I remembered before. I later learned that the facilities here were updated recently. Overall, in our area, if it's just a regular cold or fever, getting medical treatment is still quite convenient. As far as I know, this is one of the largest hospitals among the nearby townships. I don't know how medical care is handled in your country. Everyone can share in the comment section. This is a private dental clinic in our small town. There are 2 dental clinics in total here, and they are the most profitable businesses locally. Because most of the people who remain in the town are elderly, and the old people's teeth are not in good condition. They often come here to get dentures or have their teeth repaired. This is a statue that represents the image of our town, 2 people making tofu. The tofu produced in our small town is quite famous in the nearby townships, because the water quality here is very good, so the tofu that's made has an excellent texture. Before I head back, I want to go to the place with the most people flow in the town. Can you guess where it is? It's right here, the largest express delivery station in the town. Every day from 8 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock in the afternoon, people coming from around the town to this place are almost non-stop. They are all here to pick up their online shopping packages. In today's China, online shopping is already very developed. On site, there are also many elderly people coming to collect packages. Even rural old people have started shopping online. This place is like a shop selling goods from distant places. Every package on the shelves has traveled a long journey to reach the hands of everyone in this town.
出库成功，剩一个包裹。出库成功，已全部取出。
Alright, finally let me take you for a walk around the town after 8 o'clock, when it has truly started operating. I really want to know what your small town in your country looks like. You can share it in the comments section. Alright, friends, that's the end of this small town morning trip. It's time for me to ride my bike back home too. If you like my video, please don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. See you in the next video. Bye bye.